So I called the first one and left a message, and then called the second one, and he answered. And he's like, "Yeah, can we go now?" And I'm like,
Why
"Yes."
not? Why
Because
not? Yeah.
I did want to take a reasonable offer. He's ready. So that's why I called. And then he also told me that he had one in hand.
He had an offer in hand.
Yeah, the listing agent
Okay.
told me I got one in
Okay.
hand. I'm like, "Is it a good one?" I'm like, "All right, I hear you. I hear you."
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Speaking of which, that's a perfect jumping off point. So I've got Ken here because yesterday, 87 minutes into our 90-minute deal sprint, Ken says, "Sorry guys, I gotta go. It worked. I gotta go show a house." So I thought,
go.
yeah, I want to spend a couple of minutes to unpack that. The deal sprint process is 3 steps. Number 1, we find a property to use as bait. Number 2, we use the bait to have a reason to reach out to the active buyers, maybe cash buyers, active landlord buyers, multifamily buyers. And step 3 is either we get somebody who wants to go check out that property, or we learn more about what they are looking for so we can go find them the thing they're looking for, on market, off market, whatever. And so we did what was a 90-minute deal sprint yesterday, and it worked because Ken, 87 minutes in, was taking his headset off and it was off away. I guess my first question is, what was the property that you used as bait? And you don't have to tell me like the address or anything, but what kind of property and how did you find it, I guess?
So it's interesting because I look for properties all the time. Is what we do. But in this instance, you were showing us to look for going in and searching for different criterias. I couldn't find a bunch. Honestly, there's not a lot in my market that fits a lot of the criteria. So I went for recently reduced.
Okay.
And found one that I've been seeing for a while, and all of a sudden it's marked like 80 grand off.
Oh, wow.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like a 487, like more than 487 marked at 399.
Okay.
So I'm like, that's it. There it is. There's your bait. Because I'll be honest with you, I was struggling trying to find. I had that one and another one that I was aware of that had been reduced, but the other one I'd been in before, it was a dumpy property. But I'm like, there you go.
Okay.
All of a sudden I got something that this is reduced. So then here was the neat part. So I go in the lead deck and I pull up the investors in that zip code, or cash buyers, with the cash buyers in that zip code, and got 4. And the second one, I'm like, I know that guy. Right? I've talked to him before and nothing really came of it. I'm like, I know that guy. So I called the first one and left a message, and then called the second one, and he answered. And I'm like, dude, I got something for you. I don't know if it's for you or not, but this just popped up. And he sent it to me. And he's like, yeah, can we go now? And I'm like, yes.
Why not? Why not? Yeah.
I did what you said. I called the listing agent. First of all, I'm like, what's up with this? And he told me it was a divorce situation. They've had it here. They're just done. They're ready just to dump it. And I said, is he willing to take a reasonable offer? He's ready. So that's why I called. And then he also told me that he had one in hand.
He had an offer in hand.
Yeah, the listing agent told me I got one in hand. I'm like, is it a good one? I'm like, all right, I hear you. I hear you.
Yeah.
So we call my guys. It did. We went out there. Now, unfortunately, it's where we were going to end up I called him back. Where we were going to end up was less than what he had in hand. But it connected me with this cash buyer again. And he was like, man, I'm glad you called me. We're really making a push right now. You got anything else? And I do have some other stuff. I'm doing a lot of cash offer lead stuff.
Yeah.
So it fits right into my box. This is what I'm trying to build. And absolutely. So did it turn into a deal and slam dunk? No, but it's going to be.
More conversations turned into more contracts and more closings, right? So
absolutely.
Now you have, and it just so happens that this is a person that you had connected with in the past, but that was a good reminder, get back in connection with them. The other thing I would assume is when you bring him what he's looking for, you'll probably also get the listing on the back end.
Oh, absolutely. I talked about that yesterday.
Yeah.
Because in this market, I said, listen, if we can get aggressive and you as the buyer, take care of the buyer side commission, we can be a stronger offer on there. And then I'll make it when we go out.
Yeah.
I'm with that. I'm good with that.
Yeah. Beautiful.
So it's been, what I really like about it is Josh, it's nothing new, right?
Yeah.
But it's a nice system to like, okay, go find these properties. And now I wouldn't even have thought of him unless I pulled it up in lead deck and I'm like, hey, I know Brian. Yeah. Let me give him a call.
Yep.
But
Totally.
But put it together, I wouldn't have put it together otherwise. I would have just gone by that and wondered.
And you mentioned something in here that you're using the cash offer platform, which if you're watching this and you're interested, you can get free access to that. There'll be information with this somewhere or another. That is a great resource. And it is a unique value proposition that can create a lot more conversations. In my personal experience, it's way easier to do deals with those sellers who are truly motivated with the guy that you connected with locally than the institutional buyers, right? The local portfolio buyer, they just do cleaner, easier, faster
Yep.
deals because these institutional offers are great, but they've got a lot of red tape and they're going to do an appraisal and they're going to do an inspection and all of the due diligence, which makes sense because they're a national home buyer, right? So they have to have checks and balances. But when the numbers make sense for the local guy or gal, it's a way more easy and convenient process for both the seller and the buyer. And then
It really
obviously
is.
you in the middle as well. And just facilitating the
And
transaction
actually,
and
when you
being
do it local,
compensated.
then it's two deals.
Right.
You
That's
get
the
the
other thing.
purchase and then
Yeah,
the sale. Yeah,
totally.
it really works well, and it's a nice platform. It really lays out to the sellers, here's your options,
Yeah.
and I can position myself. I might have a better option for you if we go local. Yeah.
Totally. So I'm sure you're already got your gears going and things in the works. The other thing that I've found for me is when I have that relationship with the local person, like you just reconnected, and that person is saying, "Hey, we're really aggressive," that gives me more confidence in proactively reaching out and confidently having conversations
Yes.
with more sellers because I know I can actually deliver the thing they really want, which is an offer, not a listing agent or a realtor. They want the solution, they want the hole in the wall, not the drill. And
Exactly.
so when
Exactly.
we're giving,
They're afraid of a listing agent. They're like, because
yeah,
so many people told them, well, you got to do this and this, and they don't want to do it. They just want,
yeah.
if they've got a
The other,
problem, we got to solve them.
Yeah. And the other thing I've found is when you actually provide the solution up front, even if that solution isn't what they're looking for, in other words, if they should be netting more or whatever, you started from a different place. And so
Yes.
they're more likely to listen to you, list with you, and trust you in the process because you brought them an option and you had a real conversation and you can decide or help them decide together what is their best option. But
No, it's
you're
not,
starting with a different conversation.
I just did that, and we were doing the last walkthrough in the listing documents on Saturday. They were wanted to just, they're in trouble. They needed to sell.
Yep.
And I'm
Yep.
like, why don't we, this number doesn't work for you because you owe too much, but why don't we could probably go to MLS as is. They're like, we can. I'm like,
Yeah.
you're not going to be as high, but yeah, we can go there. And I really feel that we're at a price point that we're going to get activity and it's going to work for them. So I'm bringing them solution. I'm not,
Yeah.
I'm bringing them another problem. They don't want another problem. They want a
Right.
solution.
Yeah. Totally.
Couldn't fix the house up. It's just, okay, we'll
Yeah.
sell it as is. Yeah.
This is great, Ken. I appreciate you spending a few minutes and unpacking this in a little more detail. We'll probably
Yeah.
put the clip at the end here of Ken excitedly leaving our deal sprint to go show a house.
I got to bounce. I got a deal. Going to meet a guy. It freaking worked, man. I got to go show a house, man. That's awesome. Thanks. See ya. It was so
And
cool. Like it works.
yeah,
It's just conversations. It's not.
yeah,
It's, that's the downplay. It's not a magic bullet, but
that's right.
but it puts the information together, and it helps you to have conversations with the right people that you need to be having conversations with,
Totally.
and that turns
Totally.
into business.
Yeah, it's not magic. It's
Yeah.
just a three-step process. And at each step of the process, you have a reason to have the conversation. And it's easier to have those conversations if you have a real reason. All of us have experienced or had a broker or a coach, et cetera, to say, just call your sphere and just ask them how they're doing, whatever. When you actually have a reason to reach out, it's easier to make those calls. And then the conversations are
Yes.
easier and it snowballs one thing into the
I
next.
really appreciated like the plat with the 90-minute deal sprint, everything like that, because it forced me to dig deeper to find a property for bait.
Yeah.
That I probably wouldn't have dug that deep if I wouldn't have been in that. So I highly recommend getting in these deal sprints, getting around other people that are doing this, because I'm like, I need to find one. I can't find one. I can't find one. I need to keep looking. And I found one. It just forces you to dig a little deeper, think outside the box.
So if you're watching this and you're interested, we will put links with this to our next deal sprint if you want to check that out. And for those that want to kick the tires on Lead Deck, we've got a pretty cool offer for you. You can get 5 free active cash buyer leads in the zip code of your choice. That way you can get a look and feel. Definitely would love to have you on our next 90-minute Deal Sprint workshop. And if you have questions, Ken likes talking to other agents. So you can reach out to Ken. He's not hard to find. He's in Lehigh Valley area of Pennsylvania. And yeah, reach out to Ken if you have questions or you want to chat about what he's doing with Lead Deck and in his business to help more people and to close more transactions.
Absolutely. Cool.
Right on. Thanks, Ken. Appreciate
Thank
you.
you.